So, dear university graduate, I can imagine the disappointment you must have felt when the university leadership took the difficult decision to postpone the graduate ceremony indefinitely. I congratulate you warmly on achieving your university qualification and wish you well in your future endeavors. Celebrate your achievement in a responsible and joyous manner wherever you may be. We celebrate with you in spirit. This is what it has come to. People are celebrating with us in spirit and in truth, and that is fine. What do you do? As you can see, I am more happy than I usually am because I have this cap on my head and we are celebrating me as a graduate. What do you do? How you doing? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the shenanigans. That is me. I'll be making sense of things. You watch me and you give me your input. My name is Ntombi-Yensimbi Malinga, and in the very quiet streets now, I'm still known as Ntombi-Yensimbi. Please like, share, and subscribe the content that you like that comes from me from this channel. I promise you, you'll feel great and I'll make you feel right at home. We are graduating. We are graduating. This video is focused on making sense of undergraduating. There's post-graduating, but I want to focus on undergraduating. Now, before I tell you about the phase of undergraduating, I just want to go through quickly my educational phases as they went, and the type of student that I was throughout my schooling years. In primary school, I was like a regular kid, man. I was just come from a household where learning was a thing. Like, there'll be homework that comes from school, then there'll be homework that I get when I arrive at home. Like, there's work at home that I get from getting home. I used to do that work as well, because I went to an Afrikaans English school, primary and high school. There was a lot of work that went into teaching us our home language, which is isiZulu. So ma, me, mi, mo, mu, da, de, di, do, do, la, le, li, lo, lu. So, we had to learn that, and we had to read the Zulu Bible, and there was a lot that went into making sure that we were well-rounded individuals when it came to education. So shout out to the people who gave me even more homework at home. But here I am today, and I'm excited and I'm happy, and I can speak multiple languages, and I'm excited about that. I was a bully in primary school. Oh my goodness. Probably because I was very insecure about my size, because I was bigger, a little bit larger than most kids, and I wanted to compensate for it with these hands. So I used to throw these hands. I didn't have an issue with learning, didn't have an issue with education, but I had an issue with the institution that is school. The fact that there's a bell, the fact that there's specific break times, and the fact that tuck shops had specific things for you to eat. There's not a lot of room for you to maneuver, and I felt like I was really treated like a robot. They were trying to program me to become a robot. But anyway, I became a robot nonetheless. And my favorite thing was long division. Long division, I used to divide everything the long way, the best way. So to destroy long division in grade 3, and I killed cursive in grade 4. I killed English in grade 6. I was killing the game. Getting to high school, it's like a different ball game. Everyone is so big. Everyone has bad skin. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be okay. When you get into high school, a lot of the girls start being attractive to the boys, the older boys. So I was just like, hey man, look, I don't know what you're talking about. Me, I'm here to learn. I was always focused on learning before I was focused on learning the boys. One of the biggest subjects that I really struggled with, regardless of the fact that I am a BSc student, BSc graduate, I struggled with maths and physics. Yeah. I remember distinctly one situation where I was preparing for a math test, and I was at home in my room. It was midnight, and I'm there doing this geometry, and I'm crying. I'm like, Mama, I don't understand it. mom was like, hey, listen, you're being stupid, go to bed because your brain is not working. I'm like, cool. I went to bed, get to the test, I write, I don't know what I'm writing, and then a couple of days after that, the teacher gives back our marks. So she's like, cool, so there's only one person in this class who killed it and got a distinction, and after that there's like a solid 35% between the person who got that distinction and the next person who passed this test. And drum roll please, the person who got this distinction for this geometry test, it was me. And I was so surprised. I was like, what? Ma'am, are you sure? I don't remember writing anything. All I know is I was shaking. Maybe I peed myself, I don't know, but I was shaking because I was afraid to fail that test. For some reason, geometry meant a great deal to me. A lot of kids, at least the kids that I was mingling with in the class, they were the type of kids who were trying to one-up you academically. Like, if you pass the previous test, they want to pass the next test better than you, and then they want to rub it in your face that they did better than you. And I was very inconsistent. Like, I wasn't the type of student who would remain right there at the 90s and the 80s or whatever. I'd always do this, roller coaster. I'd always be bouncing up and down in between, and then the student who was competing with me goes ones up me, and they were like, I did better than you, and I'd be like, leave me alone. I'm grateful for the times that I had in high school. It made me surfboard and slide into who I was going to become in the uni of the varsity. I went into it on such a high because of the high that I came from in high school, last year of high school matric, and I was just killing the game. I was so beautiful back then, and figure was on point, and I had the brightest smile, I had the best hair, fantastic skin, and I got in there, and the attention, the male and female attention that I got, I think was justified. I was the bomb diggity. I think that messed a bit with the early days. Don't come in here. Don't come in here, Mom. Later. Thank you. I lost my train of thought. Okay. I enjoyed the attention, but it really made it difficult for me to adjust academically. I was adjusting very well socially, but academically, there was a very big struggle there. I don't know about other people, but it took me a proper 6 months. It took me 6 months to properly adjust to how to think, because it's not the same as you used to think in high school. I had to think differently, I had to study differently. The first 6 months, or the entire year, my first year, that's when we had the RU reference list protest. That's when we also had the Fees Must Fall 2.0 that followed the one in 2015. So I also had to adjust with my how I engaged with society and what all of that meant. So I had to learn new terms. I had to learn so many new terms. I had to learn terms like bourgeoisie. I had no idea what bourgeoisie meant, but being part of the people who were trying to go against the system, I had to learn words like bourgeoisie. I had to learn so much about rape culture. I had to learn so much about, conduct. I had to learn so much about the LGBTQ community. I was just hearing about, but now that I'm in the university space, I'm seeing it and I'm experiencing it. And I'm now creating an environment where I can say that I have my own lived experiences. So that was a very interesting shaping and molding that I went through in the first year, the first 10 months of my years in university, in the tertiaries. So that was pretty tough, I don't want to lie, but regardless of that, I scraped through the first year, and academically things went up for me from then. One thing about being at that institution was that whether you liked it or not, your activism and your learning became one thing. That's one hurdle that a lot of us, I think, had to jump over, not because we wanted to, but because we had to. And I think that really shaped and framed my mind after that. Second year was okay. I started getting into leadership. I never really did sports in university. I don't know why. Maybe because being me is an entire sport. Things like debate. I started doing my photography at that point. I started really being serious about calling myself Ntombi-Yensimbi because I realized that it's no longer just a hobby. It's no longer something that I would call an alter ego. It's starting to become who I am. And in moments where I struggle with who I am, Ntombi-Yensimbi is who I want to become, and it's who I want to be in my future of the futures. And my comedy side started to come out in 2017, late 2016, 2017. I think undergraduating was a phenomenal experience. I started realizing that I am scientifically minded, just like dramatic scientist is, which is me, but it's very difficult for me to separate the dramatic side of it, which is why I decided to merge myself as dramatic scientist or Ntombi-Yensimbi, just for me to not be the type of person who boxes myself as someone who's scientific or boxes myself as someone who's exclusively creative. But I wanted to merge those two and see, what I can create and who I can become and what stories I can tell and who I can relate to. The parties, I don't know. I've been to better parties, but I have grown to like being inside, partying in the comfort of someone's home instead of the comfort of someone's business on a plot where drinks are hella expensive. So I started, in the beginning I was okay with going out, and then towards the end I was okay with staying inside and making a mess inside someone's house instead of the risk of having to travel a long distance to do a lot of things at a business plot, at a club. So I never became a fan of clubs, but if there was a thing at your place, I'm there. I think the real question is school cool? School is cool, but learning is better. I think a lot of people focus on the fact that you sit in the lecture hall, there's textbooks, there are tests, and so on and so forth, which are good. These are ways for you to test your knowledge. Do you want to learn? Do you want to be here? And if you do, then school is for you. And if you don't want to, which is fine, as long as you have a goal. If you don't want to learn, at least in that type of situation, then school is not cool for you. But if you want to learn, especially in that type of an institution, then by all means, to the ha-has, to the clubs, to the parties, to the late nights in the computer labs, to the cross-nighting, to the not sleeping for 48 hours because you don't understand jack about the subject, to the early mornings of disrupting classes because we're going to protest, to the assisting people who are pepper sprayed in their eyes, to assisting people who are on the front lines fighting for us to be able to have free education. I salute you, more power to you, and I hope that in the very, very near future we can achieve this free and quality education that we have been fighting for. It's not over, and let's keep going. Aluta, continua. Thank you very much. I'm a leader, and I have learned where leaders learn. Bizani Fire Brigade. Those who know will know. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to me making sense of my undergraduating. I'm so happy, even though I'm graduating in the comfort of this little space of mine, I'm still happy. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell me if you want to undergraduate, why you want to undergraduate, if school is cool for you. And if you have undergraduated, let's share our stories in the comments. I would love to hear how people survived and scraped through their own undergraduating experience. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful. I'm happy over here in the house while I'm graduating in the house. Thank you so much. And bye.